Have you ever wondered, if God truly exists, why are we unable to see him? If he is the one who created the entire universe, why is the evidence of his existence not clearly visible to us? For many thousands of years, human beings have been trying to find him in temples, mosques, churches, and places of meditation, but they have still not been able to actually see him. Is it possible that God really does exist, but has kept himself hidden from us? And if that is true, then what could be the reason behind it? Could it be some kind of universal test? Or is it simply that the limits of our own awareness prevent us from reaching it? Science tells us that our eyes are capable of seeing only about 0.003% of the entire electromagnetic spectrum. This clearly means that what we consider to be the real world is actually just a very small part of what truly exists. The remaining part is completely hidden from our vision. In reality, our eyes can only detect the visible range of light, from red color to violet color. However, other types of light, such as ultraviolet and infrared, which make up a large portion of the universe, cannot be seen by us at all. So, when we are not even able to see the whole universe, then why should we expect to see God? This thought makes the question even deeper and more meaningful. We look at the sun every single day, but we are not able to truly understand or see its complete power. Our eyes only receive its light, but the nuclear reactions happening inside it remain totally invisible to us. This shows that the most powerful source of energy, the one that supports all life on Earth, is never directly visible to our eyes. So, could it be that God is also like this? His presence affects us, but his true nature exists beyond what we can see? Now think about this for a moment. Have you ever actually seen the wind with your own eyes? No, you have not. But you can clearly feel its presence in your breathing, in a gentle breeze, or in a powerful storm. Have you ever seen gravity directly? No, you have not. Yet its effects are clearly visible everywhere. For example, when an apple falls down or when the Earth moves around the sun. In the same way, there are many forces that we cannot see directly, but we accept their existence because of their effects. Electricity is another example. We cannot see electricity flowing, but we can easily observe what it does. A fan rotates, a light bulb glows, and machines start working. The reality is that many powerful forces are invisible, yet their effects are so clear that no one can deny that they exist. So could it be that God is also like this, invisible to our eyes, but his presence and influence can be experienced everywhere in life and throughout the universe? Modern physics suggests that about 95% of the universe is made up of dark matter and dark energy, which we are not able to see or touch. So, could this unseen part of the universe actually be like a covering, behind which the presence of God exists? Spiritual teachings from different traditions also suggest similar ideas. Krishna says in the Gita that he exists within every person's heart. Buddha explained that he discovered a light within himself, and that inner light was the truth. Sufi saints have said that God is hidden behind a veil, and only when that veil is lifted can he be seen. It appears that many traditions, teachers, and spiritual paths are pointing toward the same idea, that God is hidden, and that he is hidden within us. He may not be visible outside because we are constantly searching for him in the outer world. We have come to understand that God may not be somewhere outside in the physical world, but instead exists in a hidden way. The real question then becomes, where exactly is this hidden place? For thousands of years, people have searched for God in temples, mosques, churches, and sacred places. But neuroscience tells us that the human brain contains certain systems that can create deep spiritual experiences. When a person becomes deeply involved in meditation, the activity in specific parts of the brain, such as the parietal lobe and temporal lobe, begins to change. As a result, the person may feel as if they have encountered something beyond the physical world. So, is it possible that God is not somewhere outside, but instead exists within our own brain and inner awareness? And could practices like meditation, prayer, and spiritual exercises be ways to activate this hidden connection? Now let us think about the limits of our perception. We usually believe that whatever we can see and hear is the complete truth. However, science tells us something very different. Our brain can consciously process only about 40 bits of information every second, while our subconscious mind can take in around 11 million bits of information in the same time. Now consider the limits of our senses. Our eyes can only see light within a wavelength range of approximately 400 to 700 nanometers. We cannot see ultraviolet light below this range, and we cannot see infrared light above this range. Similarly, our ears can only hear sounds between 20 Hz and 20,000 Hz. Sounds below this range, called infrasound, and sounds above this range, called ultrasound, cannot be heard by us. This clearly shows that our senses can only capture a very small part of the total reality. Everything else exists beyond our ability to perceive it. So, is it possible that God also exists in a kind of reality or frequency that our normal senses cannot detect? In simple terms, our eyes, ears, and brain together can only understand a small portion of everything that exists. The rest remains hidden from us. So, could it be that God also exists in that hidden part, which our senses are not capable of experiencing? Now think more deeply. If God is truly hidden, then where could he possibly be? Maybe he exists in a place that modern science is still trying to understand, the quantum world. Quantum physics tells us that the universe is not as solid and predictable as it appears to be. The smallest particles that make up everything can behave both like solid particles and like waves, depending on how they are observed. This idea is known as the observer effect, which suggests that reality can change depending on the observer. So, could this be the reason why God does not reveal himself clearly? Could it be that his nature is connected to the consciousness of the observer, meaning that as our awareness changes, our experience of reality also changes? There is also a scientific idea called the quantum theory of consciousness. Physicist Roger Penrose and neuroscientist Stuart Hameroff proposed a theory known as orchestrated objective reduction, or ORC-OR. According to this idea, human consciousness is not just the result of brain cells working, but may involve processes at the quantum level inside very small structures in the brain. This suggests that our consciousness itself may operate at a deeper quantum level. So, could it be that God is hidden at that same deep level of consciousness, where the usual rules of space and time no longer apply? Another strange concept in quantum physics is quantum entanglement, where two particles remain connected to each other instantly, even if they are separated by huge distances. Albert Einstein once described this as spooky action at a distance. So, could this be a sign of some deeper connection? Could it represent an invisible link through which God is present everywhere at once and connected to every living being? In Western philosophy, there is an idea known as the divine hiddenness problem. Philosophers have been asking for a long time, if God truly exists, then why does he remain hidden? If God represents love and compassion, then why does he not show himself clearly to everyone? Another important question comes up here. If God were to clearly reveal himself to all people, what would happen? Some thinkers suggest that if God openly showed his presence, then human free will would disappear. People would believe in him not because of love or understanding, but because they would feel forced or afraid. Perhaps this is the reason why God remains hidden, so that human beings can search for him through their own efforts, their own experiences, and the growth of their own awareness, instead of simply accepting something, because it is proven to them. It can be compared to a situation in a school. During an exam, a teacher gives the students a question paper and then steps away. If the teacher starts giving all the answers, then the purpose of the test is completely lost. Perhaps this is a rule of God, that he stays hidden so that our search has meaning and our journey feels real. In simple words, the divine remains unseen so that our effort to find it becomes valuable and our life's path feels genuine. Scientific studies in neuroscience also hint toward this mystery. Experiments in neuroscience show something interesting. The well-known studies by Benjamin Libet revealed that signals for decisions appear in our brain a few milliseconds before we actually take action. This suggests that sometimes we believe we are choosing freely, but in truth, the brain may have already made the choice. So this raises a question. Could this also be part of the hidden nature of God, where our free will may not be as independent as we think? Now think about another mystery. Modern cosmology explains that everything we can see in the universe, stars, planets, galaxies, and even ourselves, makes up only about 4 or 5% of the total universe. The remaining 95% consists of dark matter and dark energy. Dark matter is an unseen substance that keeps galaxies held together, yet no telescope has been able to directly observe it. Dark energy is an unknown force that is causing the universe to expand faster and faster. Scientists say that we can observe their effects, but we cannot directly see them. So if most of the universe itself is hidden, Could this also be like a divine veil behind which the ultimate truth exists? Could this be what ancient thinkers called illusion and modern science describes as darkness? According to Vedanta, the highest truth is covered by a veil, and when that veil is removed, everything becomes clear like light. Sufi teachings say that God is behind a veil, and when that covering is lifted, only He remains visible. This idea points to the same hidden reality, what we call the hidden God. In the Gita, it is said that God exists within every heart. This means that ultimate truth is not somewhere far away in the sky or in temples, but inside every human being. Taking this idea further, Buddha taught that the light exists within oneself, and that is the real truth. This means we should not search outside, because the divine truth is already within us. The Sufi poet Rumi expressed a similar idea, saying that God is hidden behind a veil, and only when the veil is lifted can He be seen. In simple words, the divine is always near, but to recognize it, we must change how we see things. Think about love. Have you ever seen love with your eyes? No. But you feel it every day, in smiles, in sacrifices, and in deep relationships. Love cannot be seen, yet its impact changes lives. In the same way, God can be understood as an invisible force that cannot be seen directly, but whose effects are present everywhere. Now consider what great thinkers have said. Einstein believed that there is an unseen order in the universe. Bohr suggested that at the smallest level of atoms, even language starts to feel like poetry. Heisenberg believed that the deeper we go into science, the closer we come to understanding God. And spiritual teachers like Krishna, Buddha, and Rumi all point toward the same idea, that the hidden God exists as a light within. So the picture becomes clearer. Science says that reality is hidden. Spiritual teachings say that God is hidden. Science tells us that our perception is limited. Spirituality tells us to expand our awareness. The words may be different, but both are pointing in the same direction. That ultimate reality, or the hidden God, is beyond normal senses, and it can only be experienced by expanding consciousness. For Einstein, this was the hidden order of the universe. For Bohr, it appeared like poetry. For Heisenberg, it was a truth found deep within science. And for Krishna, Buddha, and Rumi, it is the inner light within every person. So maybe science and spirituality are not opposites, but simply two perspectives of the same reality. And at the center of this shared understanding lies the same hidden truth, the hidden God. So far, we understand that our perception is limited. The quantum world is mysterious. Most of the universe is invisible. And both science and spirituality agree that truth is hidden. But an important question still remains. Can we actually reach this hidden God? Can practices like meditation, prayer, and spiritual discipline remove the unseen veil behind which ultimate reality may exist? Neuroscience gives some clues here as well. Brain scans such as fMRI and EEG show that during deep meditation, the brain enters a different state, beyond normal sensory experience. Does this mean that the divine has always been within us, but we have forgotten how to awaken our awareness? Science shows that during deep meditation, the brain produces alpha and theta waves, and in that state, perception moves beyond ordinary reality. Researchers have also found that during such moments, the heart and brain begin to work in harmony, as if they are tuned to a subtle cosmic rhythm. Could this rhythm be a way to sense the hidden God? Saint Kabir also expressed a similar idea. He said that there is no need to search outside because the divine is always near. It is not limited to temples, mosques, or sacred places. It exists within. So now the biggest question arises. Can meditation and science together open a path through which we can experience this hidden truth? Or is all of this still an illusion that can only be understood when we go beyond the limits of our thinking and perception? At this point, the journey brings us to a pause. Is the hidden God just an idea? Or is it a real presence that allows human beings to rise beyond their limits? And if it is possible to connect with this hidden reality, then how can it be done? Can ancient spiritual practices and modern scientific understanding together open that doorway? Can the invisible veil truly be lifted? One clear idea emerges from all this. God cannot be seen through instruments like telescopes or microscopes. Even science does not directly observe dark matter and dark energy. It understands them through their effects. In the same way, God may not be known by direct sight, but through his influence, through love, awareness, and the unseen order that governs the universe. This remains the greatest mystery. God is hidden, and the answer to why and where he is hidden may also lie hidden deep within us. If this idea resonates with you, you can share it with others so more people can join this search for truth. You can also reflect within yourself and ask, are you searching for this hidden reality? Because when more people begin this search together, awareness grows stronger. And perhaps one day, the unseen veil may lift, revealing that ultimate truth, that hidden God,